are you?
I'm grand.
This is a fun topic for us because this is something we talk about often when they ghost you.
Very near and dear to my heart.
Very near and dear to your heart. I'm kind of like, yeah.
I'm very sensitive to it.
You are, which
Very
is why it's a great topic. All right. So tonight we're talking about when they ghost you. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Now, granted, it's sensitive to you, but are there times when it's a good thing?
I think so, for sure.
Okay.
It may not be polite.
Perspective.
But there may be blessing in not being so polite in the moment.
A disappearance of sorts.
That's not polite. This is not what you do.
Well, listen.
It's like an eternal stand-up, right? Like you sitting at the table forever, waiting on somebody to show up.
So are you telling me you've never ghosted anybody?
I can't think of one time, but the way my memory is set up.
I was about to say, but the way your memory is set up.
Somebody else might jump on here and be like, "Oh, hey, Tasha." You never know, right?
Yes. I'm just saying, all right? I mean, so granted, we could. Huh?
Not on purpose, I haven't.
I don't even believe that.
Yeah, you can believe what you want. I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, that's fair. So you telling me nobody in even your dating past, you did a polite, it's not me, it's you, or it's not you, it's me conversation every time?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Uncomfortable a lot of times. Yes. Everyone.
I'm sorry. Forgive me for just having a difficult. You can see where I stand.
I mean, we have had different dating lives. First, let me say that. Okay. Not a lot of folks were ever on my bench. So it wasn't a big deal for me.
Well, I mean, so let's just talk about it like from a higher level.
Okay.
It's probably rude. Probably, right? But I think there are times where, saying it's only going to make them feel worse. And we can talk about this in all relationships, right? We're not talking solely about romantic relationships because we are friendships, which is why it's particularly, sensitive for Tasha, that friendships.
Yep.
There are people who you may have considered close to you who sort of creep out the back door and don't even leave a goodbye note, right? And I may have done that too. But I mean, but I do think sometimes, that maybe.
Tell me when it's appropriate and when it's okay. And when the other person is not hurt in the situation.
Oh, I don't believe they're hurt. They're just like, oh, she busy. She got busy. It's realistic. It's fair. It's not out of the blue that I got busy. And then time just happens.
Time just happens.
I'm the emoji. Right? Time just happens sometimes. Oh my gosh. Life happens. Everyone understands that, you get to a certain point in life. People understand life happens. It's not because I don't like. Now, I could also have friends that I don't talk to for 6 months at a time.
That's not ghosting. That's not ghosting.
But if I didn't talk to you for 6 months.
If that's the nature of your relationship, I have those friends too, whom I love very dearly. And when we talk during those 6 months or once a quarter, whenever it is, it's like no time ever passed. And then the time actually does pass. But like you have those relationships, that's not ghosting. I mean,
what's your definition of ghosting?
When I'm texting you and there's no reply, or I'm calling you and you don't pick up.
Oh, I don't think I do that.
That is ghosting, right?
Okay.
And in all relationships. So what I will say, the blessing in ghosting oftentimes I think is, God prunes people from our lives, right? For a reason.
Absolutely.
we hate cliches, right? But we do relate to them. People can be in your in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, right?
Absolutely.
So I think it hurts most when you think that there's someone that's going to be in your life for a lifetime and their season comes to an end. You weren't prepared for the season to end, right? And the season ends abruptly and is a ghost.
And sometimes that season needed to end and you weren't going to end the season.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt in the moment, and it doesn't mean that it was polite. And so hence my sensitivity, right? And
Yes.
so when I hear other people talking about relationships and it was like, well, I'm just not gonna talk to her no more. Really? Like you're just not even gonna say nothing?
I will say it's not like a never ever. Clearly everyone watching can see that we have shared understanding of it, right? I'm not saying I'm saying I have used the tool a time or two. I'm saying it's a tool in the toolbox that occasionally I have used.
Ooh. Ooh.
I can't lie. I don't want to lie.
Don't lie, because the people know.
It is a tool that I have used. And it doesn't it doesn't even bother me. It doesn't bother me that I've used it. It doesn't.
What about now, right? So oftentimes from an accountability perspective, we talk about looking at things from a different perspective.
Sure.
I mean, you've been through with me through my ghosting situation,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And you understood the pain that was involved for me. And so how could you now in turn
Oh yeah, right.
inflict that pain on someone else?
One, I don't believe I'm inflicting pain. Two,
If you don't ever talk to the person, you wouldn't know.
right. But the difference is, as you said, you reach out to a person, they don't call you back. I don't do that, right? I probably will stop initiating contact. And if I stop initiating contact and you stop initiating contact, well, then it just sort of fizzles out. So maybe that's not ghosting. Maybe I'm not a ghoster, right? But if someone is texting me and trying to communicate with me, I absolutely, that's a jerk move. Like I would never do that. I'm definitely going to respond back. But I will look at my life and say, listen, there's the front row of my life. There's and then there's the people who I hold in the front row. And there are people in the balcony and there are people outside the stadium, right? And we can just be cool as I pass by. I mean, we could do that. But I don't believe everyone deserves opportunity to sit in the front row of my life. I don't want that. I don't always want that energy, right? I don't want that counsel. I don't respect their feedback. I don't respect how they're moving in their life. And so those are the people that I politely back away because they can't. I believe relationships are reciprocal. And if what you pour in, I believe is going to be toxic, no, we're not doing this. I'm not doing this with you. I'm not even going to try to explain it to you why I'm not. Because if I tell you, because honestly, think about it. If I tell you it's because I think you stupid, I don't think you make smart decisions. I think you're always late. I think you have low self-esteem. I don't feel like being your counselor. And you can't help me, girl. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, when does that conversation go well?
Well, you're a better communicator than that, and I don't think that's how you would say it.
It's all going to mean the same.
Listen, I think that's what some people need sometimes, right? In order to break these patterns in their life. I think oftentimes we're not honest enough with each other.
Yeah, but if there's someone who, and I'm just going to give an example, that you genuinely don't think is a smart person, who you genuinely think makes bad decisions, but they believe they make good decisions and that they're a very smart person, right? You can't come to them and be like, you're not really smart. Who am I to judge? I can't tell them that. They didn't ask me, do you think I'm a smart person? Right? And so I can't go and just be like offering that opinion, but I can make the decision for my life. And again, I don't believe it's, and particularly for an accountability, and we're talking about being the best woman that we can be in our life while we're here, making the most of our lives. And we believe in trust, and we believe in support, and we believe in sounding boards, especially in an accountability relationship. And in some level, your friendships, there are some level of accountability. if I wouldn't, if I'm looking at how you're moving in life, and you don't make smart decisions, no, I'm not coming to you, and you can't sit in the front row, and you may be in the balcony or outside in the parking lot, and it's okay.
So you just ghost them.
Not ghost, I back away. And I think that is the moral part of this conversation, right? There is a difference.
Yeah.
There's a backing away. Because I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And that has been the situation in my life as well. There are people where it's just like, okay, you're not gonna call me back? Oh, it's gonna take you like 8 weeks to call me back? That's cool. Life happens. I get it. I have a life as well, right? I try not to be an 8-week callback person, but and then yeah, the time in between that fizzles out. So I guess maybe you're not a ghoster.
I'm not a ghoster. But let's talk about it from an accountability. I mean, if you have an accountability partner, I mean, absolutely unacceptable to ghost somebody.
Oh, so you can tell me that I make bad decisions.
No, I just would never ghost you. I just would not ghost you, right? So, and to me, in an accountability relationship, we have a set call, right? Or we have set times. Obviously, it moves depending on what's going on in life. But if I just stop showing up,
yeah,
that is terrible on my part.
Yeah,
unacceptable, and I would expect you to say something to me about it. But hopefully, in the perfect world, or the smart world, or this world, I'd just be saying, hey, like, we know I've just called it a knuckle up time. I've been fighting through to get to today.
Oh, I did think of a situation.
Okay.
Where I kind of ghosted somebody.
It's amazing how that happened.
I'm just telling you the way my memory works. And you made me think of it with the meeting, right? So we had this group we were supposed to meet, and this one person wasn't carrying their load.
Yeah.
And so I said, hey, you know what? This meeting time isn't really working for me. Let's just, find another time, right?
Yeah.
The person who wasn't carrying their load never weighed back in to say, oh, does this time work or does this time work? And so I just moved over here with the other person and said, hey, does this time work for you? Okay, you and I just do this. And we're going to let her do it.
So first off,
because listen, I think maybe ghosting has a reciprocal relationship as well. She wasn't calling me and talking about when we're gonna meet, what we're gonna do. It was just, time apart, and then they're fizzle, right?
So the first 10 minutes of this conversation, you've just contradicted the entire first 10 minutes of what you said. And you saw, I said to you, never?
The way my memory is set up, I can't think of a time, but I thought of it. You triggered my memory. I have a different memory recall than other people. And so, yeah.
It's called convenient, right?
No, for sure not convenient. I'm very sensitive to being ghosted. And so I didn't.
Right.
But listen, if she had called me, I would have told her, ma'am, listen, it really wasn't a productive call. You didn't bring much to the call. And so I need to have my time be productive. But see, I think she knew it. That's why she didn't call back.
Yeah.
She won't bring nothing.
I mean, that's fair. But so we can agree that there's a time and a place. There's an approach in how you do it.
That's true.
Right? There's a time, and sometimes it's good. And listen, I think when I have maybe done it to some folks, and I'll just speak maybe in an acquaintance sort of way, there was just no good way to say it. Like if I truly thought I had a nice way of saying, and I've probably already said it, then I'm like, yeah. Do you really have an alarm?
Sorry. I thought I had turned it off. Sorry.
But I mean, that's probably, so I will say, I think I do it respectfully. I don't think there's anyone sitting there crying because I didn't call them back. But there's no one waiting for me to call them back either. I want to say that. We just.
That you
All
know.
right, I'm gonna talk to you later. Okay, I'm gonna talk to you later. You know.
That you know of. Nobody's waiting to hear back from you.
Yeah, that I know of, you know. But I have a very full and active life. I believe in having good relationships. I cultivate really good relationships. Those are important to me. You know.
I think I agree with you. And the lesson is all in all of this is that, you know, there is a way to say it. There is a way to do it. And some people do need to be pruned from your life. And there can be a blessing in the ghosting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've been blessed in my ghosting.
Amen. Good luck and God bless to all.
Luck and God bless.
And when you get pruned, you blossom bigger.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Tasha. It has been great talking to you. Thank you for everybody who joined us in the comments. Hey, Gail. Hey, Gangsta E. So good to see you.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, everyone.
Follow us.
Oh, follow us, please, please, please. Oh man, we just get caught up in the conversation. Follow us definitely at Accountability Queens on Facebook and on IG. And always, you can go to our website, accountabilityqueens.com, and check us out.
All right. Talk to you next week.